Hello, beautiful people. Hope you're having an amazing day today. My name is Steve. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today, I'm joined again by my wife, Lindsay, and we are going to react to the true cost of U.S. healthcare shocks the British public. Now, I've actually seen this video probably a year or so ago. This was one of the first videos I looked into when I started thinking about learning about the healthcare differences between the US and the UK. I still have a long way to go to know really the full-on differences between US and UK healthcare. I know a little bit more than I used to because I've done a few different videos on it, but Lindsay said this is one of the topics that she was really excited to look into, and she saw this video and thought this would be a really good one to check out to kind of get a good idea of what some of those healthcare costs are, differences and stuff. And we have some other videos we want to check out in the near future about healthcare, and so stay tuned for that. But also, guys, before we get started, I'd like to ask if you have any specific stuff about like British pregnancy, UK pregnancy.
Oh yeah, like the difference in maternity care and childbirth and things like
all that sort of thing. That's something Lindsay is really into. She's done probably a lot of research on that US version. She knows a lot about that type of thing here in the US, but knows nothing about the UK, obviously, when it comes to that. And so I would be curious to see that type of stuff as well, but that is definitely a topic she's very, very much interested in. So if you know anything you'd like to share, please do so in the comments. But you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, enough rambling from us. Let's go ahead and jump in there and see the true cost of US healthcare shocks the British public.
It's probably going to shock me too.
10 grand for a baby.
Is there a price?
Oh, I think it's more.
Yes.
Jeez, $100, $200.
$2.5 grand.
$80.
600.
250.
More.
Shut the fridge.
More.
£300.
Double it.
$600. $600.
For what?
Yeah. Ambulance call out. How much do you think that costs?
Zero payment.
Zero.
Yeah, zero payment.
Oh.
Because $2,500.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
you look. An inhaler.
$100.
Yeah, you're pretty close. It's a bit more.
120.
250 to 350.
For an inhaler.
Yes.
Man. So if you're poor, you're dead.
No.
It's like public health care in the UK. In the US, fortunately, I'm able to get healthcare through my parents, their jobs, but like I carry an EpiPen, and I know that like the cost of that has just been rising. So like there's like very few companies that even compete.
That's something that I've noticed, that there's this belief that if you're poor in the US, you're just going to be lying on the street outside of a hospital if you need help or something like that, and like you can't get and that is actually something that is absolutely not true. Like if you're poor,
You have a lot of
resources. Like you have
where if you're in the middle,
that's what I've said.
Then you're screwed.
It's if you're wealthy or you're very well off, you know, you can afford the expensive health care, no problem. If you're poor,
lower income,
Medicaid and pretty much pays for all your bills and stuff.
Financial forgiveness through the hospital.
Financial forgiveness for the hospital. People in the middle, they get stuck with these massive bills. If you're just a middle income person, a middle class person, middle class family, you're the one that is really, really hurting with the cost of healthcare in the U.S. It's not the poor, it's not the rich, it's the middle class.
So it's sort of like a monopoly for the EpiPen. Even though like we have insurance, it cost my parents about a couple hundred.
That's the problem.
Insurance.
So 2 EpiPens. How much do you reckon they are?
$80.
600.
$40.
I'm afraid not.
More?
More.
$100.
More.
150.
More.
250.
More.
Shut the fridge.
More.
£300.
Double it.
$600. What? Why?
That's a very good question.
$600.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like just hives and shortness of breath. So it wouldn't be like an immediate death situation, but like, so I've been fortunate I've not had to use it, but it's something like keep on me. Like I have my backpack right
Jamie has to have an EpiPen with her.
Of childbirth.
Really?
Jesus.
Bees, she learned to bees.
Grand, something ridiculous now.
Yeah, see, I've blown the figures up on your head now, haven't I? Because they're larger. It's the highest, generally speaking, is about 30 grand.
Okay.
Is that reasonable? You haven't?
Not reasonable at all. It's just like now we're on a benchmark.
100, 200.
Dollars.
Yeah.
The average is about 10 grand. It can go up to 30,000.
10 grand for a baby.
Yeah, well, I guess. How much is your child worth?
Yeah. What is that like the same everywhere?
The average is about $10,000. Yeah.
That's mad. Oh no, thanks.
Okay, no thanks. In which case, the coil, IUD, contraception,
Yeah.
how much do you think that costs?
For one person to implant $1,000.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Really?
Yeah, $1,300.
Oh. Mental.
I wonder if you could tell me how expensive you think calling an ambulance out to your location is in America.
I guess it depends on like where you live. It really does.
How much do you think it is?
Is there a price for that?
Yes.
Jeez.
I really don't know. I'd
Now-
say at least $2,000.
Well, I remember when I had to use an ambulance a long time ago. Now this has been a long time
Yeah.
ago. But with insurance, I had to pay $500 back. With insurance,
Yeah.
I had decent insurance, and it was still like, so I have no idea how much it actually cost after insurance.
And now with inflation.
Oh, well, it's probably still going to be $500, honestly. But wait, no. Let me take that back. It's probably going to be your deductible, whatever your deductible is,
Yeah.
up until you pass that level. So
But
honestly,
we're talking out of pocket.
right?
Without insurance.
What I'm saying, most people have very high deductibles now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I will say is, you go back 15 years ago, and health insurance was so much cheaper. Okay, it was so much cheaper. And then the Affordable Care Act got passed, and everybody said, "Oh, this is going to make health insurance so much cheaper." It tripled my health insurance in 1 year.
Yeah.
And ever since then, never looked back. And now everything is so much more expensive than it used to be. I mean, a good thing is more people are able to get health insurance.
Yeah.
But for younger people that were already healthy, it really hurt people financially. My deductible used to be like $500 or $1,000 a year. Now our deductible is $18,000, and it's like that's what we have to pay out of pocket before for
Anything kicks in.
for
Yeah.
major stuff.
Yeah.
It used to be at $500 or $1,000, and it's just kind of it's crazy. It's crazy.
$100? $200?
2.5 grand.
For what? Why? Why?
Give birth by C-section,
Yeah.
and you would like to hold your baby after you've given birth to it.
Naturally, yeah, that's what you do. Yeah. You have to pay to do that.
Yes.
To hold my own child that I've been carrying inside of my womb.
I've never heard of this in America.
Have
you?
The skin to skin after a C-section, I think that's true.
Oh,
But
at a
during, like, if
C-section.
you have a natural childbirth, as they say.
That's what the difference
then,
is.
Yeah, I think because it's a surgery.
Oh.
But still, it's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. But like, because I've seen that said, like, because this is something that's been, people have talked about, is believed that, like, if you have a baby in a U.S. hospital, you can't hold your baby. And it's like, I've never heard about it. It's C-sections. I just
because, I mean, you're in
realized
the
that.
operating room. I don't really know why they would need to charge you for that.
Yeah.
But
That's
I guess
just weird.
because they can, because it's in a surgery, and they're just like,
That's weird.
yeah, I don't get it.
But yeah, like when it comes to regular birth, that is not a thing. You hold your
I mean, I
baby.
hate to say regular birth, but yeah,
Normal birth.
I know,
Like,
a non-operational procedure.
Well, that's what I mean. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like a birth that has no complications. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's the way to put it.
Yeah.
Birth that has no complications. There is no such thing as charging you to hold your baby that I know of.
Yeah.
I think that would be ridiculous. And I think if I believe the hospital will be shut down if that happened, because I
I
mean,
wish we had remember after Sophia was born, didn't we specifically ask for a breakdown of the itemized charges? I wish we had looked at that or like had it in front of
we've
us.
got that somewhere,
I know.
and I have no
Because
idea.
normally you don't get that unless you ask for it.
Yeah, they don't give you an itemization. You just get a bill.
Yeah.
That's it. It tells you nothing. You have to reach out to the itemization.
And a lot of times they charge you for things that either you
you didn't do.
Yeah, so you would want to double check.
And the worst thing to me is like I've gone and gotten. I've talked about this before, but I've gone and I've seen an itemized bill, and I'm getting charged $50 for a bandage. I mean, we're talking about something that's probably 30 cents.
Yeah.
I got paid. I charge $50. That's the problem.
But yes.
Jeez.
It's not actually that expensive.
Right. Charging me, I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah.
Not you, but the doctor. Like $100.
$40
$40.
for skin-on-skin contact. What do you think of the NHS?
Literally the gift that keeps on giving. Literally, people are so dumb for taking advantage of it, and I don't want it to change.
Fine, does it make you grateful for the NHS?
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't know how much free healthcare we got, like, just off the bat, but, like, knowing you have to pay, like, 30 grand for a child, it's outrageous. It really is ridiculous. So thank you, NHS, for your hard work.
Genuinely speechless.
Presumably you had an idea that healthcare was expensive in the US.
I didn't realise how expensive. Yeah, I'm just like, what? Like, if you don't have money, you're fudged. Yeah.
What do you think of the people who are profiting off the sale of these medicines?
You're bastards.
What do you think, generally speaking, about healthcare in the U.S.? Just your opinion, whatever that opinion is. Like good, bad, everything.
Honestly, like you've already kind of touched on, before the Affordable Care Act stuff happened, it wasn't the best, but it didn't seem as bad.
Right.
Like, it wasn't something I really thought about as much, but now it just seems very insurmountable. Like, you can't.
Right. I mean,
it's something that's never going to.
I
don't even know.
I want to say, I got to say this.
It's overwhelming now.
I remember 2008, right? I remember, young, but nonetheless, 2008, paying for my own health insurance. Mm-hmm. My health insurance, I had $1,000 deductible. I'm covered whatever, everything. Mm-hmm. And I paid $43 a month for it. Yeah. So easy, man. Like, and now I don't even want to get into what it'll cost you. It literally, depending on if you want really good health insurance now, mm-hmm. you're talking about literally over $1,000 a month.
And it doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, we're talking about you're talking about spending, if you want an $18,000 deductible, you only got to pay the low cost of like $600 a month for your $18,000 deductible and your Lord knows how much co-insurance, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So
the government supposedly trying to fix everything actually made everything worse here in the U.S. cost-wise. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not knocking what the positive improvements was, because I can look at something and be like, okay, this was positive about it, that was negative about
mm-hmm.
it. The cost for everybody that was already paying for health insurance and everything skyrocketed overnight, basically, within a year. And then it just kept on going up. We could talk all day long. And as you learn about the NHS, as we learn about the NHS, we might find out, you might think that is the much better system. And I do believe that our system here in the U.S. absolutely needs some changing, needs some improving. I mean, you think about the fact that in the UK right now, they can go to the doctors, have a baby, and they don't even have to think about they don't have to think about a bill.
Right.
That's a very positive thing. Can you imagine the stress you no longer have to have around pregnancy with that?
Yeah.
Or if you're someone who's older, you've had massive heart surgery or something like that, you're recovering from that. Your thoughts never have to go to, oh man, that bill is going to make you bankrupt or something like that. And the one other thing I'd like to say that I've already hashed out here is that it is true that if you're lower income, or if you're wealthy or well off, upper income will say, it's not going to be as much of an issue.
Right.
Because you are most likely covered for that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's really the middle class that are harmed by our current healthcare system in the U.S. more than anybody else.
Yeah, very true.
Now, I mean, obviously, there's the group that are middle class, but they're on an employer's health insurance. They're a teacher or a police officer, some kind of profession that gives you good benefits. then you probably also don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah.
It is the people who are middle class, who don't have those benefits of work, or who are self-employed that have to pay an arm and a leg for health care that are the ones to struggle. But I'm rambling on.
Yeah.
What else do you have to say?
Honestly, not much. I'm just excited to learn more about the NHS and see the real differences between our healthcare system
Right.
and theirs, and see if I like it better. And
Right. You don't know anything else about it. I'm sure you like the idea of like not having to stress about the bill so much.
yeah, for sure. Who wouldn't?
Like I still don't know exactly, like, I think there's times they might get some sort of bill. I know there's a private sector, because people sometimes like, I've heard both in the comment section. One group of people will say, the NHS is great. They don't have any negative things to say about it. But then I see certain groups of people who have said the negative they've seen is they had to wait a very long time to get seen for something.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard about.
I've heard that, but I've seen both types of people say, well, like some people say they hadn't had that experience, others have, and I'm wondering if maybe in the UK that might be something that you experience in certain areas versus others. It might depend on certain surgeries or things you need to get done if there's less doctors within the NHS system to do that type of surgery or something. So that's the type of thing I'd be curious about to know as well. But guys, please feel free to drop in the comments anything, any ideas, any videos that we could look into that might be good for us to explore about this topic. I mean, like, obviously, we want to explore the NHS overall, right? But we also want to go beyond that and kind of look into pieces of it, like pregnancy, maternity, and I'm sure there's lots of dental stuff. I'd like to learn about that some. I'd like to learn about all that different stuff. But you got anything you want to add?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover our British and Irish ancestry. Till next time, guys. Peace.